Hello and welcome back to another episode of the National Parks and Monuments Trail Series. Today we traveled to Northern California to take the Lily Pond Trail at Lassen Volcanic National Park. This is a 0.9 mile loop that takes you out to Lily Pond before coming back out by Reflection Lake. It is located in the northern entrance to the park. A quick note that, like Crater Lake National Park, this park is not fully accessible at all times of the year, and even in early summer when we took this hike, the highway going through the park was not fully open. So make sure you take that into consideration when planning a trip, as it takes several hours to drive around from one entrance to the other. The trail starts as a dirt path and some rocks to line the sides of the path. There is a lot of tall, thin evergreens around, none that cast any real significant shade. The ground around the trail is rocky and sparsely covered in evergreen needles. There is small evergreen trees growing through the rocks in sections, forming the only real underbrush on this opening section of the trail. One of the really interesting features of this trail is seen on larger trees throughout a bright green moss that pops up through the bark. At about the halfway point of the trail, it passes around the namesake of the trail, Lily Pond, and it's pretty obvious why the pond has the name that it has, as it's covered in lily pads. The terrain has more slanted and a few more roots, so just be careful in this section, as it's the only part of the trail I really felt took a little bit more effort to hike. It's short-lived, but that doesn't mean you wouldn't trip if you're not paying attention. We paused at the lake for a moment to watch some birds idly float by, and then continued onward down the trail. Within this next section, you'll start to see the appearance of suddenly vibrant green grass, which stands out against the otherwise bleak terrain. It's an indication of the small brook you're about to cross over, small enough for a few boards laid strategically to allow you to cross, but a beacon within this terrain nonetheless. Eventually the trail leaves the wilderness as you come to the shores of Reflection Lake and can start to once again hear the thrumming of cars going around their way on the Volcanic Legacy Scenic Byway. My favorite part of the trail was this enormous pine cone. There were several sprinkled on the ground throughout the trail, but it was such a cool thing to see. It was just super interesting to see something familiar that's taking a novel shape or size, similar to when we saw the acorns in Arkansas that were large and had other unique features. Here's a quick shot of a hand for scale of this thing. It's something I'd expect to see in the redwoods, not an otherwise normal-looking evergreen forest. Thank you for watching, and if you enjoyed this video, hit the like button. If you want to follow us as we explore more national parks and monuments, hit that subscribe button.